Narcissism is like rabies virus. When it enters your body, it doesn't show you any initial signs or symptoms. And you get some time, incubation period, for it to grow, for it to reach your central nervous system. But once it hits you, once it enters your brain, you're gone. Similarly, a narcissist gets all the time to do the crap they do to other people. But when they get old, their narcissistic defenses grow weaker and they become the worst version of themselves. It's not only that, they also suffer in so many ways, which is what we are going to talk about in today's episode. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In today's episode, we are going to talk about 5 things that happen to a narcissist as they approach their end. If that sounds interesting and you're eager to learn more with me, please make sure to subscribe before we begin, because as I always say, your subscription to the channel helps in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Also, here is an exciting announcement before we begin with number 1. I am doing an online 3-hour workshop on how to break a trauma bond with a narcissist in 5 practical steps. In this workshop, I'll help you understand how you get trauma bonded and how you can unstuck yourself. The workshop is happening on March 2nd and 9th. It only happens twice a year. You can book your seat now by clicking the I button above or by clicking the link in the description of this episode. Number 1, they end up lonely, struggling, stuck, and suffering. They rob people of their peace all their life. Why would they have any peace towards their end? They want people to cater to their needs, but nobody is willing to put up with a cranky man or woman. They do not mellow down. They become the worst version, as I said in the beginning, but that leads to absolute isolation and loneliness. Even the medical caretakers are fed up with this person and everybody wishes for them to die, to pass away. I have witnessed it with my malignant narcissistic grandfather who made the lives of every single person miserable, and almost every child of his, including his wife, prayed for his death. Their insecurities become more evident. The weakness they have always tried to contain through their narcissistic defenses now can be seen by everybody, which is why you might see the narcissist crying about the old times, talking about all the great and amazing things they used to be known for, which is how they gain supply. Because at this age, when they're so fragile and frail, they cannot get supply in any way. They can only pretend to be a victim, which is how they get everybody to cry for them. But now it doesn't work, as they become this crazier, more delusional, more paranoid version of themselves. Nobody wants to put up with that. So what do? They will regress to more like a childlike state who will try to hold on to anything they can get a hold of. Number 2, they become filled with hatred and contempt towards others. They do not accept their state, their condition. Instead, they think their old age is nothing but a curse, that it is an injustice. They didn't deserve to get old. They become jealous of their own children. I have my personal experience in this. I saw my father getting jealous of my growth, my physical growth, as he started to grow weaker and entered his 50s. That's crazy. What kind of father does that? What kind of father feels that? But that is who they are. They do not want to face their truth. They do not want to accept that they are subjected to human condition and human experience. Old people mellow down. They become sweeter, but a narcissist becomes the opposite of it. They cannot contain their hatred anymore, which is why they burst very easily. They are triggered by minuscule things that you wouldn't even be bothered by. But now they cannot put on a mask. Oh, I am a pleasant person, it doesn't bother me. Now you see that nasty, evil, devilish persona that they kept hidden all along, and now They try to put people down. They pick fights irreasonably. They do not settle for peace. They do not let people just function properly or live their life normally. Now, they want to interrupt. They want to intervene, but in a negative way so that they can feel some kind of importance which they have lost now. Number 3, they become extremely paranoid. You may be the only caretaker willing to put up with their nonsense, and guess what? They will blame you for trying to unalive them. How is that justified? Or they may say the meanest, the most delusional things about what your intentions are and why you are taking care of them. It doesn't make any sense. It may shock you, but let me tell you this, it's a clear projection. It's who they are. It's what they do themselves to other people. That's why they think you are like them, since the entire universe to a narcissist is nothing but an extension of their false self. As they age, their paranoia gets worse, and it's openly experienced by people around them. They do not trust anyone with anything. They say people are after their property, their wealth. The entire government, the entire society they live in is conspiring against them. You will see them doing bizarre things like shutting off the television or the radio set, whatever it is. They'll say the most bizarre things without any proof or evidence. And it doesn't stop there. They will fight for something that never happened. If they say you are doing something to them, you're causing some kind of damage, they will fight you because they are already convinced that what they say is the truth. Number 4, they become extremely impatient. They give everybody a real difficult time. They become antisocial in true sense. Narcissists in general are extremely impatient, you know that, but they conceal it quite well in their youth because they know it is inappropriate of them to break the line or to cross somebody or to do bizarre and unacceptable things. But as they get older, their grandiosity and entitlement, both combined, take the front seat and they go crazy, berserk with it. You may be standing in a queue waiting for hours and the narcissistic older man or woman would jump in, break the line, and expect you to give them the front seat, give them your position. They cannot display fake patience anymore. The patience they showed, rather faint in the love bombing stage, is nowhere to be seen or found now. One small mistake and you will see them screaming, yelling and cursing very easily. Everybody hates them because they're always nasty, always angry. And that immature, developmentally arrested, childlike state is just sitting right here. One just needs to touch it and there goes the trauma. Number 5, and the most disgusting behavior. The older they get, the more they seek young people, especially older narcissistic men. They want to be around young women. They want to be seen with them. Why? Because they want to live vicariously through this young body, this young soul. They want to live their life. It's totally parasitic, isn't it? They want to use them as a trophy. This is the worst and the unhealthiest form of dissociation or a mechanism of detachment from one's reality, because they get distracted from who they are and what they should focus on and live off of this person who promises them a high they cannot now feel themselves. The shocking thing is, while chasing these young sources of supply, a narcissist will display zero shame or remorse. They'll pay thousands, sometimes millions, to get to be around them. They may marry their young source of supply, who is literally probably half of their age. And that It sounds unacceptable, but I have seen such cases. It's not that they have found their love or the answer to all their questions. Of course not. They do not want to accept that they are old now, and being with a young person gives them a false idea that they are young as well. Crazy, delusional, and psychotic, of course. So that was the fifth point. I really appreciate your presence. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, let me know in the comments. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.